'cause the music makes me high. And if I only got one more night, I'm gonna leave out loud goodbye.
This gonna be the type of night they make movies about.
What up?
Bitch niggas
It's your
get
boy, Mr.
drugged.
Vaughn. Mr. Vaughn Channel Sweatbox. We back. We live. We active here on the channel. Yes, indeed. Let's talk a little bit of UFC. This past weekend, UFC held their final Fox card, and it was a good one, man. It was a good one. Good fight. Especially, let's talk about we did last time. We'll talk about the two main event fights. Edson Barboza versus Dan Hooker. That was a war. Your man Dan Hooker. Oh my God. I ain't never seen somebody take a beating to the body like that. And you guys all know, when it comes to strikes, when it comes to the lower extremities, the knees, legs, and feet, Barboza is a monster. And Dan Hooker took all of that. He hit Hooker with a spinning back kick that hurt me. And I'm watching at home in Washington State. And I was like, oh, I mean, he hit him with, everybody was like, that fight should have been stopped earlier. I mean, he was taking some of the nasty, it was, to say the least, Edson Barboza won the fight. Dan Hooker finally got stopped with a nasty body shot. I think it was a gut punch. It didn't matter. At that point, that nigga's whole insides was mush. I mean, straight mush. Man, it was beast. Man, it was just bad. And we all know how bad Edson Barboza is. Nice rebound for Edson, coming off two tough losses. He got smashed by Khabib, and then he got smashed by, was it Kevin Lee? I think it was Kevin Lee. I think Kevin Lee was the one who beat him. Anyway, yeah, so there we go. What's next for Edson? We'll see what's up for that. Dan Hooker, please take some time off. Go see a doctor, bro. I heard he didn't even want to be, I heard he didn't even want to seek medical attention after that fight. Bruh. I mean, there's tough and then there's stupid. Your insides were destroyed, fam. Go see a doctor. That was bad. I felt bad for him, dude. He didn't want to drop. But main event time, it was Kevin Lee versus Raging Al Iaquinta. It was another good fight, man. And let me say this. Kevin Lee should have won this fight. On paper, Kevin Lee is absolutely the better fighter. But man, Al Iaquinta's got heart, bro. Al Iaquinta has got heart. He was stuck in some bad positions 2 or 3 times in that fight. Kevin Lee easily won round 2 and 3. Possibly could have won round 1. But rounds 4 and 5, Raging Al was piecing him up. Let's be clear. Pretty much the entire time that fight was on the feet, Iaquinta was piecing him up, fam. I mean, as much as I'm a fan of Kevin Lee, and he's usually able to impose his will in the grappling game, and at times in this match he was. There was times when he got that fight to the ground. He got some nice ground and pound on Iaquinta. Almost got him in that choke a couple times, but couldn't finish him. And then he gassed, man. He gassed, and Iaquinta just took it to him. He just took it to him. I love how that fight ended. At the end of the 5th, it just ended with Iaquinta just putting 1s and 2s on him, and then the fight ended, and he just yelled at him like, "What? Let's keep going." I was like, "Ooh!" He won that fight, bro. I saw it coming. As soon as they was about to announce it, Kevin Lee was acting all surprised, like, "Bruh." I mean, even to say the first round was where it's at. It depends on who won that first round. Is who they gave that fight to. And that first round was super close. Kevin Lee clearly won round 2 and 3. Iaquinta clearly won round 4 and 5. So it was all about who won round 1. It was a close round, and they gave it to Al. So I don't have a problem with it. Al's a tough dude, man. That's 2 times he beat Kevin Lee. And I tell you, anybody who says this Kevin Lee, if Kevin Lee had won this fight, he probably would have been next in line for a title. If Kevin Lee had won this fight, he probably would have fought Khabib. Or Tony again. Who else is there to fight for Tony? For Kevin. Now it's a huge loss for Kevin Lee. He's going to be devastated. And for Al Iaquinta, man, it's just been a great year for him. Who would have thought, coming off of a loss to Khabib like he did, where he clearly lost the fight, but he took Khabib 5 rounds. Conor couldn't take Khabib 5 rounds. Barboza couldn't take Khabib 5 rounds. Nobody can take Khabib 5 rounds. So, Iaquinta, man, it's good to see. I'll be interested to see where we go with this next. So yeah, man. There was another fight that I'm thinking of that was a really good fight. Jim Miller lost to Charles Oliveira. That was a good fight. And is it Brian Green? I don't remember. I think it's Brian. It's not Brian Green. The Black Green. He lost and he retired. Man, it's tough. He's been in some good fights. I'm disrespecting him because I can't remember his name right now. His first name, but it's Green. Bobby Green. Is it Bobby Green? I think it's Bobby Green. Yeah, man. He's been a stalwart. He's a UFC vet. He's been around for a while. He lost this fight and then he announced his retirement on Facebook on social media after that. So big ups to him, Bobby Green. Big ups to me, Bobby Green. Yeah, so it was good night of fights, man. Good night of fights. Last Fox card, 7 years they've been on Fox, man. 7 years, it went by fast. I remember that first fight, Kane versus Junior Dos Santos, man. That was 7 years ago, bro. Whew. Lots changed since then, man. They moving over to ESPN. We'll see how that goes. I want to know, are they going to actually get rid of the UFC on Fox show? Because that's a great show. I like that show. They got so much good commentators on there. Tyron, DC, Dominic Cruz, Michael Bisping, Kenny Florian. So, yeah, man, I hope they don't get rid of that show. Karen Bryant. Shouts out to Karen Bryant. I really hope they don't get rid of that show. I know you can't have the fights, but you can still have the show. So, hopefully they don't get rid of the show. But I don't know. But we'll see what's up. It was a good fight card. We'll see what's up next. Next, we got up UFC 232. The return of Johnny Bones, baby. It's going to be a great fight. You know, just keep it locked to the channel. We'll be talking about that. I might try to do some pre-fight videos, you know what I'm saying? If anything interesting pops up around that fight. But, you know how we do. Until next time, make sure you keep it locked. Peace. 100, y'all.
We so futuristic on this one.
So faded on a track like this, 'cause the music makes me high. And if I only got one more